Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Train Tuesday. Jim over here and stuck in the middle of the Midwest in sunny California. Mr. Janik.
Hey guys.
Where?
It's not
Wait,
that
a little bit
right now, but it's not bad.
It's not too sunny right now, yeah. We have a lot of this frozen precip all over the ground here. Not conducive to a lot of things unless you're like me and into snowmobiling, but other than that. So who we got coming on? We've got Mitch. Welcome, Mitch. Joel, Angela. Hello, Angela. Gordon, welcome aboard. All right, Jeff, welcome aboard. Hey, thanks for coming on board, guys. We'll get a little bit more of you guys coming in. And it's got Sean, Kyle. Got some pretty good we got Vic Yoder, we got Richard, we got Sean, Terry LaFrance. Welcome back. Always good to see Terry.
So our comment from YouTube is from Rails and Sirens of Southwestern Iowa. So I think he's going to like the DDA40X with the siren on it because that's just combining his two favorite things right there.
Well, yeah, that combines it all. That's everything you need. So definitely. Hey, we got Taylor, we got Eric, we got Paul, we got Steve, we got Jerry. Welcome aboard, guys. Sid, hey, thanks for stopping in. Man, I got a treat today because so make sure they can't hear you back there, Janik, but we kind of drug you out of the R&D and research lab and everything else. So he's kind of like snuck in here for us real quick because you wanted to talk today about something really exciting that we've got in the Genesis line. So go ahead and tell us what's up. What's the big release this month?
Yeah, I wore my Kodachrome shirt again because we got some cabooses that we just announced and in several different flavors of Santa Fe, including the Kodachrome. So I wanted to talk a little bit about those. And then I actually got to take off early because I got some meetings after this, so I won't be bugging you guys for too much today. So this is the announcement that just went live. What was it, last week now?
Yeah, last week.
Okay.
Brand new. We talked about them a little bit when we had our announcements, but now we've got some time to kind of go a little bit deeper in these. And I know you spent a lot of time in research on these, and this is something that again our customers were asking for.
Yeah. So in the first run of these Santa Fe cabooses, although Santa Fe called them way cars, I do want to put that out there. If I call them cabooses again, no, I really mean way cars. On different railroads, they were called different things. But on the first round of these, I think we did see the CE8s, and that was it. I think it was just that one version that we did. And so what we got now is we mixed it up a bit with not only the styles, or should I say classes, but also the paint schemes. So you see there on top the CE6s. There's with the black underframe there and the black end cages. You got the early style COTS panel, the ACI label there. You got the Santa Fe logo, which is don't quote me on this. I think it's 2 feet less in diameter than the later logos.
Okay.
So just some cool spotting details there. You got that antenna on top, which is mounted on the ground plane. So really unique class of cars there. The CE6s. Those were delivered in '74, and they were the first of this sort of series of wide vision cabooses. All the ones before then had been standard cupola.
So this was really their first order of I guess you could say the modern era cabooses then.
Yeah, pretty much. This was the beginning of the more modern style of international cabooses that they had.
And of course, you didn't stop there. And this is great because you've got basically the as delivered 1974 to 1980s. But for the guys that are running 1980s right on up till the end, you've got those, but you didn't stop there. Check this out. And that's why you're wearing that shirt.
Yeah, so that the 999-700 was the one caboose that was selected to be painted into this Kodachrome scheme with the yellow ends, and it would have carried the full SPSF lettering on the side. You know, it had the merger been approved, and actually it did carry that lettering for a very short time. And we did find a photo of it. So.
Oh, that's really cool. So there was a prototype. This actually happened, and man, it must have been hard to get some really good shots of this because, you know, I'm not a hardcore Santa Fe fan. I'm a fan of Santa Fe, but I've not run across this caboose. Really cool offering you got here, and it's the only time it's been offered in Genesis, and we're saying, you know, because of the uniqueness of this, you're going to want to get your orders in now, because I don't think these will probably be one of the most popular ones in the release.
Yeah, I think so. You know, back a while ago, there was that Athearn special edition set, which came with 3 of the Kodachrome painted cabooses, and this was one of them. Although that version, you know, being on the old blue box kit, was nowhere near as accurate as this one. So this is actually the first time you can get the accurate version of this CE8 in the Kodachrome.
Wow, very cool. Now, you didn't stop there either. Let's go down, and you have the caboose in the shouldn't paint so fast scheme as well. And this is another one that you guys found in your research, right?
Yeah, like I said, we found one photo of this car, as you can see in the caption, at the Topeka shops. We're pretty sure that in real life, it didn't get out on the road. That was fully lettered like this. That probably would have raised some eyebrows for sure. But, you know, like we say, it's your railroad. And if you want to do that, then please go right ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, some guys maybe want to, you know, model the SPSF, and this would have been one of the earlier offerings at that point. Well, something that's a little bit close to my home here, or my transplanted home anyways, is you did the TP&W, the Toledo, Pereira, and Western, which, of course, in the 80s was owned by the Santa Fe, so it only makes sense that they would have some Santa Fe equipment, as you have illustrated here.
Yeah, whenever TP&W needed some cabooses, they would just lease some from the Santa Fe, and all they did was blank out the first 3 numbers, and then stencil in some TP&W reporting marks, and that was pretty much all they did. And they just ran like that. It's a really good car to go with those Jeep 38-2s and TP&W that we released a few months ago.
Yeah, and I think right now, if you're a TP&W fan, we actually have, I believe they're the FMC 50-footers, TP&W boxcars in that same era, and that really cool paint scheme. Those are actually in stock now. If your dealer doesn't have them, your dealer should contact us and bring those in. But yep, Kevin in the comment section says never got to Toledo. It's kind of a weird thing. I mean, coming from New England, I'm like, oh, cool, the TP&W. Did it get to Toledo? No.
It's like the it's like the Frisco. They never got anywhere close to San Francisco, but hey, it's in the name.
Yeah. Ambitious is what they call that. Really cool. So, you know, that's the beauty of doing these cabooses, even in the Genesis line, which are usually very prototypic or prototype specific rather, you still have the opportunity to do like the TP&W, because in real life, that's what they did. Just like you said, they just took what Santa Fe had and, a little bit of marking differences and stencil work, and bam, you have a TP&W Caboose. So really cool. And I did not know that the Santa Fe, like the CB&Q, called them way cars. So that's interesting.
Yeah, way cars. Like I said in the beginning, I meant to say way cars the whole time, but I knew I would forget. So I'm sure I'll think about that later.
Santa Fe fans are loyal fans, and they are very passionate about their models. And so, yeah, I can say for Janik, the research that goes into these releases, there's a lot of things that they look into, and I can't wait to see these. These are just going to be beautiful, beautiful way cards. Now, you had a few pictures you wanted to share with us too, didn't you?
Yeah, I was browsing around online and I found a couple shots which I thought were kind of cool to show off here. So give me a couple of seconds here to share my screen. We go ahead and
while you're doing that, I'll look over some of the comments in there. I want to welcome some other folks that just showed up. Jason, welcome aboard. Hey, these are okay. So before I put this up, Janik, I'm just going to say, for anybody that thinks that this is some kind of hoax scheme that we dreamed up, no, the Athearn team does their research, and here we are. Check that out. Man, that's cool.
Yeah, so this is posted on the American Rails Twitter, and the photo is Thomas Chenworth from the Warren Cowley collection. A really great photo here. It's Topeka, Kansas, in 1986. So this doesn't get much fresher than this one right here.
Yeah, you can almost smell the paint. It's that fresh. Really cool.
Really is. That red and yellow just. I can see why some people it was an acquired taste, because I'm sure that it sort of burned their retinas when they saw this thing going by.
Yeah, I guess, to the purists that we're used to, and let's face it, the Santa Fe, especially the Super Chief colors, the red and silver war bonnet scheme, that's iconic. I mean, that is truly an iconic paint scheme. So, if you're used to that, and even the blue and yellow paint scheme, when this shows up, it's probably either an acquired taste or you don't like it at all. I think it just depends on where you're at with your Santa Fe love and history.
Yeah, I think so. I think some people were a little bit reluctant to see the change, but change in the railroads was happening quite quickly at that time with all the mega mergers. The other photo I want to show off here is a nice shot of a TP&W leased car.
Oh yeah.
And this is here in let's see, Logansport, Indiana, on August 11th, 1982.
Very cool.
There's an Athearn Genesis GP38-2 right there. So
very pretty familiar paint scheme, yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
you got the Penn Central hopper in the back. Of course, TP&W was a joint Santa Fe, Pennsylvania operation in the beginning, so that explains the Penn Central car in the back. It's just a really cool photo, and then showing basically a Santa Fe Caboose, just TP&W patched out like they did.
Mm-hmm. What I can't quite make out the year. Do you have a year on when that was? Was it 82, as it say? It
was 82, yeah.
82, okay. Yeah. Really cool. Well, that's neat. I mean, anytime you've got stuff like that, I mean, it's always cool to see as delivered, when the product itself was brand new out of the shops. Mm-hmm. And it's cool to see it as it evolved through time. Like anything, it's going to change. Companies change their logos, company changes their fonts, things like that. And that's the minute details that you have to look for, and the research team at Athearn has to look for. And then you've got the failed merger schemes that add another, segment to that. Plus, you've got the TP&W. So it's a great way to, further that model. You're not limited to just one model within a certain time in a certain railroad. It really opens it up. So very cool. Looking at, we got some some other folks that have joined us on board here. We got Rick. Welcome aboard, Rick. And John, I see your comment out there about the TP&W. He's basically saying there's a really great book on the TP&W in color, published by Morning Sun Books. You're probably familiar with it, written by Roger Kajawa. And that's not in my collection. I guess I need to change that, since that's kind of a local road for me. I think I need to change that. But TP&W out in this part obviously is pretty, pretty common, pretty well loved road. It's almost up there with the Illinois terminal.
Oh man, wow.
I think the guys at Athearn basically made a way car for the guys in the Midwest and the West Coast. So good job.
Yeah, and you said you had one photo you wanted to share as well?
Yeah, I do. Let me go grab that here real quick. And it's this one came from Tony Cook. He shared this with us from the collection. And let's see. There we go. And that one looks relatively new. Really good shape, maybe a little faded, but it could be just the angle of the sun. This was taken, I believe, this was 1976, if I remember my notes correctly. Let me just take a look. Nope, I'm sorry. This was in Wichita, Kansas in 1979. And it's part of the White River Publications library. But great shot. Looks like a late afternoon shot, and definitely shows all the details that are being put into the Genesis models. So,
yeah, that's a neat photo. Looks like it was a CE6, and it looks like it had been repainted to have red underframe and steps.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
that's a neat version. It's not exactly what we're offering this time around, but that would be a really cool version to offer with the next release.
Yeah, that's one of those things where if we get enough folks that say, "Hey, I want one like that," we can take it under advisement. Which reminds me too, it's a good time to remind everybody it's relatively new, but we do have a new email address for suggestions. If you go to the Contact Us page on the athearn.com, it's just for new product suggestions. So if you want to see a way car like we just showed you, or I see some requests out there today for, hey, how about Denver Rio Grande cabooses, or how about some Canadian vans? I don't mean the shoes. That's what they call cabooses up that way. Then yeah, definitely drop us a line. Let us know, because we are actively wanting to know what you want. What do you want as a modeler? Because I think we've discussed this before, Janik. We're kind of biased. I mean, we're modelers. I tend to have a big interest in a lot of Midwest roads and some Northeast stuff. And I can't quite make out what you're trying to say there today with that shirt, but I think we all know what you're trying to say. But we want to hear what you guys want. We want to see more.
Yeah. We don't need help.
Yeah, definitely.
We want, but we need help knowing what you guys want to see, especially if it's a tooling project that we already have. That means that it's something that we could potentially bring to market quickly. You guys know that new tooling projects take several years from start to finish, but a new paint scheme on an existing model is something that can be done pretty quickly. So we're especially interested in those suggestions, or if you think there's a new model that we have been ignoring that we should be considering, send us an email at that email address that Jim mentioned.
Yeah, definitely. As we go into this new year, we realize a lot of us are still at home working on our layouts, and you might want to think about that. So let us know. We've got a lot of great tooling that we can put into road names that haven't been offered. But before we take it upon ourselves, we want to know what you, our fans and customers, want. So yeah, like Janik said, let them know, because there's a lot of research the Athearn team has to do, and the sooner we get to it, the better. Definitely.
Well, and with that,
well,
Jim,
Janik, thanks.
Yeah, I'm going to have to skedaddle here.
Yeah, they're going to put you back to work. I mean, I think I see a pair of eyes peering behind that door, and I'm thinking that's probably where you're destined to get some more work done. But
Well,
thanks for taking some time out of your
sneak peek of what I'll be working on.
What do we have here?
I just got these. I just got these deco samples in the mail. The Rock Island FP7s.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta give those a
Very nice.
a good looking over and send my reviews off. So well, thanks a lot, guys, and don't go too far on Jim, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah, Janik, thanks for coming on board today, and yeah, we'll let you get back to it. And thanks for teasing us with that eye candy you got there.
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures if I find out that it's worth sending any. So.
Oh yeah, no,
right.
We'll definitely. I think everybody will want to see that.
All right, take it easy, guys.
All right, take care. All right, like I said, Janik is off, and he is super busy, because there are so many cool projects that we're working on. So with that being said, I'm hoping you guys really like the Genesis Caboose that we're offering. We're going to go on to the next item, which we haven't really offered this in a while. Let me get ready to share my screen here. And these are the 26-foot ore cars. Let me bring these up here real quick. All right, and we'll make that bigger so you can see. So these are under the ready to roll line. Just like before, we're offering them as singles, and they're coming in a pack of 3. They do have some really nice details to them. They're going to have the separately applied grab irons and ladders. Going to have some brake detail. They also come with a removable load of ore, but if you get the like the Union Pacific MOW maintenance away car, that will have ballast instead. It won't have ore, because, well, you wouldn't be using ore in your maintenance away travels. These cars here, like I said, they're going to have some really nice detail for a ready to roll line. And these are perfect for, especially the maintenance away cars. These are perfect for your yard, for doing a maintenance away train, pretty much whatever you want. These were quite often used in a group, so it would not be uncommon to see these as a solid train. And in fact, I think, while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. I've actually got another picture that Tony Cook sent us. So let me find that picture. And while I'm looking for that picture, feel free to keep leaving those comments out there. I can't always read all of them, but I try to read as many as I can, just to let you guys know that I'm actually awake and watching you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and share. This is a pretty cool picture. Here we go. So what we've got here is a Southern Pacific version. This is just like the one that we're offering in this release. And according to my notes, this was photographed in March of 1984. Which, depending on how old you are, that wasn't that long ago. That gives you an idea, too, of what you can do for weathering on these things. These look great. Again, if you want to put these in your yard, or if you want to do them up as a unit train. So, something to think about. This is going to be offered till the end of the month, so you're going to want to go ahead and talk to your hobby dealer and order some of these if that is something that you are looking for. We haven't really offered these in a while, if I remember right. So definitely check those out. Now, let's see. Got some more folks coming in. Yes, Terry, you're right. These do have the extended sides. So that is something to look forward to. We're still getting requests. I see a request out there for switchers like the SW1500s. Yeah, like I said, don't forget to use that email that I told you about, because don't rely on a middle-aged guy's memory to remember all this when he goes to his meetings. There's great ideas out there. Get them to that email address so that we can actually start calculating them, put them all together, and seeing what our next offerings are going to be. Okay. Now, another one that we are going to talk about today is the ready-to-roll 50-foot superior plug door box cars. Now, these are they were real common at one time. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see that release. There we go. So we're offering these again. These are going to have the same features as they've had in the past. However, we're offering them in both new road names as well as more road numbers. And we've got a pretty good range of cars for this month. We've got the Southern Pacific, which is good for the 1960s. Got the Penn Central, which was later in the 60s. And then as we go forward, you see 1970s and even Norfolk Western, when they were pretty much brand new. You're looking at mid to late 1960s when they had the hamburger logo. We've got some Conrail for the 1970s, and we've also got Canadian National 1970s. So we're offering these in 3 different road numbers each, so you can pick out your favorite railroad and easily add to it. And while I've got your attention on these, once again, our friend Tony Cook got some really cool pictures. And the cool thing is they're actual releases that we're doing. So let's switch screens here real quick. And through the magic of the internet, oops, the magic of internet, but the foolhardiness of the human behind it. There we go. All right. So here you go. Here's our first one. It's the Southern Pacific, just like the one in our current release. Now, this one here, I'm going to blow this up so you can see it better. So this one here, this Southern Pacific 50-foot superior plug door boxcar. This was photographed in California back in May of 1986. And once again, all of these are from the collection of White River publications. We want to thank them for supplying these pictures for us. So yeah, if you're modeling the 1980s and earlier for your SP, and quite often these cars would go anywhere throughout the West and into the Midwest, this would be the perfect car for you to pick up. And again, 3 different road names, or sorry, 3 different road numbers, so you can mix and match as you see fit. Here's a rather new looking Penn Central in the FGE paint scheme. This was photographed back in Fort Worth, Texas, a long ways from home there. Fort Worth, Texas in August of 1971, which would explain why that is in such great shape in this picture. Really cool picture. And again, we're offering this one ready to roll, complete with what you see here. The same paint scheme, same number group, not this exact number, but it is within the same number group. And then finally, also almost brand new and out of the factory, is the Norfolk and Western being photographed also at Fort Worth, Texas in 1969. So this boxcar was virtually brand new when this picture was taken. Really cool picture. And again, we're offering this in our ready to roll. Same numbering system, not that specific number, but definitely in that numbering system. All right. So with that being said, we've got a lot of great stuff that's coming out. And I know this packet, this release for January, we've got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be talking about fire trucks. We're going to be talking about Model A's. We've got something for HO. We've got something for N-Scale. So in the next couple of weeks, stay tuned. We'll talk about more of these things. You know, today we wanted to devote a lot of time for these Santa Fe Caboose or way cars because that's an important release. We've not done that before. We've done those paint schemes, but in the older blue box, not quite as accurate as what the Genesis series are. So now's your chance if you've got a home layout with the Santa Fe TP&W and you're looking for a much more detailed way car, here's your opportunity to order one of those, and they'll be here. They're slated to be here late December 21. So not too long when you think about it. So before we move on to some other things, I'm kind of looking through the comments here to see if anybody had any questions on what we've talked about so far. Just kind of looking through the comments, not seeing anything as far as new questions on the way cars, the ore cars, or those 50-footer box cars. You know, another thing for you guys out there that are into more of the industrial switching, you know, those 50-foot cars will work well on your layouts as well. So let's see. I got a neat comment. I'm going to put it up here. I want to do up one of those Genesis AT&SF way cars with plated windows, faded, and graffiti for my LA layout. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen pictures of them, and I'm trying to think if I've seen somebody actually model one of those or not, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And that would be really cool, especially if you can get it nice and faded. He's talking about the windows being plated. Now, real quickly, reason why is because 1970s, 1980s, a lot of railroad employees were getting injured and worse on the railroad, especially in the inner cities, because people were doing everything from throwing rocks to shooting at the cabooses. And so I believe, once again, we're going with a middle-aged man's memory, but about the 1970s, early 1980s, the FRA started, basically mandating a much more damage-resistant glass to be put in the cabooses. Now, as you can imagine, that's pretty expensive. So a lot of railroads, including the Santa Fe, elected to just plate over with steel sheet the lower windows of the cabooses to do away with that. So that's what he's talking about there. I'm looking at some other cool comments. Rob, you're asking about TP&W paint scheme. We actually did those a while ago, just before I came on board in the summer. I believe those came out about a year ago. The 38-2s and the orange and white paint scheme. Will we do those again? It's a possibility. If you missed out on those, it's a possibility we might do some more TP&W motive power in the future. But I don't know of anything right off the top of my head since we just kind of came off from that release. Okay. Yeah, that's also why I'm reading another comment. That's pretty much why they started covering up those auto racks. In the early days, in the 60s and 70s, they were essentially flat cars with cars on them, and it was kind of cool to see the cars and the loads. And then as they went on, they started putting sides on them, and now they're fully enclosed. And yeah, it's a good thing when you go through some of those cities, because you never know what's going to happen. All right. So I've got some good news here for you. We're going to be, as we go into 2021, we've talked a little bit about it. Hopefully we'll have some rules up soon. But for all you guys that are into weathering, start thinking about getting your airbrushes out, getting your brushes out, getting whatever medium that you use to do weathering. Get all those tools out and start working on this. We're going to do a Prime for Grime contest, and it's going to go for about 3 months. That way you guys have time to get what you need to get done and make it look really good. Basically, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is I need you guys to take a Athearn Prime for Grime freight car and weather it and photograph it to the point where A, you're going to fool myself and Janik and other guys on the Athearn team, and B, if you're really good with the weathering, make it look like we need a tetanus shot to look at your picture. So we want to see what you guys come up with. Something else I want to throw out there too is we're always going to be looking for pictures of your layout. We want to see what you're working on during the pandemic. We know a lot of you guys are stuck at home, and start thinking about what you're working on. We want to see what you're working on with your home layout. We've gotten some really good pictures of guys working on their Athearn locomotives, detailing them up even further, making them specific for their time period and things of that nature. Be on the lookout on our social media. We're going to start posting some of those pictures. And if you want to get in on the action, we'll have some ways to contact us here coming up so that we can show some of your work as well. One last thing too in the news, I wanted to let everybody know that because of the pandemic, it has slowed down some of our customer service items. Please, when it comes to anything that's needs to be addressed with your locomotive or freight car, go to our Contact Us page and use the appropriate email. Try to give as much information as possible about what you need addressed. We do have a system in place now that is really starting to get these requests answered. We just ask that you give us a little bit of patience, because especially since most of the Athearn employees are in California, as you know, California has been hit really hard with the COVID-19 virus. As such, everybody is working from home, and it's not the same as working in the office. So give them a little bit of time to get back to you, but we will get back to you. We want to take care of you. We want to make sure that your enjoyment with Athearn products is at an all-time high. So like I said, give us a little bit of time. We are working on it, and we've got some great new ways that we can take care of our customers, and it just takes a little bit of time with the pandemic and everything. So appreciate your patience on that. Now, with that out of the way, I do have some great news. I'm going to look at my cheat sheet here. Last week, we talked a little bit about some new Genesis locomotives that are on their way. We've talked about the SD80 Max that are on their way. Still not here yet. We're still waiting for them. But there is another locomotive that should be here hopefully within about a week or two. If you pre-ordered these, you should be getting a phone call from your dealer soon. If not, if you missed out, you still got time to contact your dealer and grab one of these. Let me put it on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the HO scale Genesis SD75Ms. Now I'm using the BNSF Late Heritage number 273 as an example here. These are due out soon. These are going to be here in another couple of weeks. Once again, they're Genesis line, so they're going to have the Genesis features that you are accustomed to, and we've offered them in the BNSF and actually a lot of different schemes. There are some of these as well that are in the Prime for Grime, so you're going to want to check that out. This is from our website right here. You can type in this item number that you see right here. It is ATHG 70650. That's just one example of the SD75Ms that are on their way. These will be here, like I said, in about a week or two. So if you missed out on these orders last year, be sure to talk to your dealer and get these. These are beautiful locomotives, and I can't wait to see these come in. Now, that being said, I do have some stuff that is in stock as well. I've got something here today for both the HO scale guys and also the N scale guys. I don't want to miss out on the N scale guys because even though I do both, I still enjoy N scale quite a bit. And I never want to alienate my N scale fans out there. So let me start with the HO scale guys. Now, before I tell you what's going on, if you're out there and you're like, man, I really need something a little bit bigger than a switcher. Can't be a 6-axle. I need something to get some yard work done, or maybe I need something to switch an industry and everything like that. What am I going to use? I got the perfect answer for you. Share my screen once again. And what we've got here, GP7Us. Now, specifically, this one is in the Santa Fe scheme. And these are perfect for anybody, late 1970s into the 80s, even into the early 90s. A lot of these actually made it into BNSF in the early years of BNSF. These are perfect for your modern industrial, your modern yards, things of that nature. No, Joel, not that kind of yard work. Especially not here right now because all we have is snow. These are in stock. If you pre-ordered these, you've probably already got them. But if you did not pre-order them and you do want to take advantage of these, and hold on a second. Yep, the wife's gone. I'll probably order one too. These are great for all of the things that we've talked about. So once again, the HO scale Genesis GP7U. Now, while I've got your attention, if you ever want to know what's in stock, just go to our advanced search. And let's go Genesis, for example. Select in stock. Search products. Bam, there you go. Right there, easy to find. And you can even do that with stuff that's on its way. You can do the same similar search, but instead of in stock, put coming soon. So there you have it. So HO scale, and be looking here probably, I'd say probably another week or two. We're going to be posting a review of that. We've got somebody that's going to be doing a review of the GP7, specifically in the Santa Fe. So be looking for that. And now for my N scale guys. I don't have a locomotive for you this week, but I do have something really cool for you, especially if you're an N scale guy that models in the 60s into the early 70s. And actually, it was already brought up once. These are the F89F tri-level autoracks. In this case, I've showcased the Wabash version. But remember what I said earlier. These are the early ones. I mean, we're talking late 60s, early 70s. If you're truly ambitious, you could get some N-scale vehicles to place on here and really have a really cool train of nothing but auto racks with N-scale cars. Now, once again, these are in stock right now. They are selling quickly. I noticed that the Union Pacific versions, we only have 1 or 2 road numbers left. I think Wabash, we still have 2 road numbers. We offered these in 3 different road numbers, and they are going quickly. So check the website if you didn't pre-order these. These are excellent if you're into, say, N-Track or Fremo N, because they enjoy the wider radiuses. They don't really do too well on a small layout. They're more of a large layout or an N-Track type of layout. So check those out. They're in stock now. If you didn't pre-order them, talk to your dealer today because they are going quickly. In fact, the Wabash ones are selling really well. So if you're in the market for a Wabash auto rack, be sure to check those out. All right. So that's what's going on in the world of Athearn. Now I want to see what's going on in your world, and what we're going to do to talk about trains is it has some real trains in the background. So get your questions ready. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the Virtual Railfan screen. And this time, we're going somewhere we haven't been in a while. We are going to go to Kansas City. We were here earlier this summer. We all remember what happened there. I think there was a song about Kansas City at one time. There we go. Might be a rail fan there. I'm not sure. If you're in that car and you're watching us, say hi. It could be. You never know. All right. Kevin, you're saying woohoo, yeah. And HO scale, please. Are you Kevin? Are you asking for the autoracks, like in the N scale? Let me know what you're looking for. Tom Austin, GP38s, and you're asking for straight 38s. You're not asking for -2s, correct? Let me know. Let's see. I'm going to start grabbing some questions out there. Can we get GP11s? Well, it's like anything. We can put it in the suggestion box, and more importantly, you can put it in the suggestion box. If we get enough interest in it, then we'll probably proceed with it. At this time, yeah. Craig, a song, try a bunch of songs. I don't know, man. I'm from New England. I only know that song about dirty water. and the Kansas City song, man, I can't even remember the artist. That's how bad my memory is today. But touche, Craig. You're right. There's plenty of songs about that. Let me see. I just saw a great question, and it's gone. Let's see if I can find it. Here's one. Will you ever do the RDC Bud cars again? That's a good question. Off the top of my head, I don't know. As we've talked about it in the past too. I mean, you got to remember some of these molds that we have. Athearn's celebrating a very monumental anniversary this year. It's 75 years that we've been producing model trains. So some of those molds go back to quite a few years. So there's a lot of things that our Athearn team has to look at, see what those molds are like and everything. And of course, bring them up to today's standards. Don't forget, when those RDCs first came out, they had rubber band drive. So there might be a lot of work involved in that. And just like a lot of things, Ty, it takes time. It takes time to get all those things engineered and updated to today's standards. That being said, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But thanks for asking that. Michael wants to know, so when does the fire truck news come out? So we talked about it, Michael, real briefly at the beginning of this announcement, which was the last week of December. I believe next week or the week after, we will be talking about both HO scale and N scale Ford C pumpers. Very iconic fire truck, actually, and pretty common around the country in Canada, specifically in the 60s, 70s, and even into the early 80s. But we'll be talking about that. Let me see. Bob, there's a good question. Will you do a CNJ or a New Jersey Transit GP40P? That question's been brought up in the past, and I haven't heard anything more than that, but it is something that we have gotten suggestions for. My comment to that would be, if you haven't tried our new email yet, put it in there, because we really are going to start tabulating results through that email. Okay, so Kevin, you answered my question to your question earlier. You're looking for those in HO scale. Definitely not out of the realm of possibility. As far as a date, I don't have a date for you, but most definitely. One thing to consider too, see a couple of comments out there. Sometimes the question about parts comes up. You can buy parts through your dealer. If you've got an older Athearn locomotive, a lot of those parts are still available. Talk to your dealer. You can also go to our Athearn website and look through our online catalog, if you will, to find those parts and order those parts. Getting a lot of requests for the autoracks. So autoracks seem to be popular today. That's not a bad thing. All right. Got some new comments coming in, new questions. Michael's looking for an HO scale ONR GP9. GP9s are still very popular, so that's something that we can look into. And like Janik was saying earlier, if it's something that is mainly a paint scheme that we can do easily, chances are we can do it pretty quickly. Anything that's a new model, especially something like, say, like the ST70 ACU, that's a ground up thing. There's a lot of research that the Athearn team has to do. That took a period of years of combined effort with our factory, with the railroad, in fact. I mean, we worked very closely with CP Rail on that release because, we want to get it accurate. And that took a couple of years. So by all means, that's why we brought up that email address. We want to see exactly what you guys want. We can guess. We can guess all day. I can go to a meeting and say, hey, I had 3 guys that commented that they wanted a certain locomotive. But at the end of the day, we need to know what you guys want. So that's why that email's there. Everything that goes into that email gets tabulated. We might not always respond to that email, but we are reading them. So we do thank you for that. Yeah, Sparky, I kind of see where you're going with that. Yeah, the GP7, GP9s, and Conrail. Yeah, I've got a soft spot for that. That's a possibility. I'm seeing some other comments in there and requests, and all I got to say is some of you guys, stay tuned. 21 is going to be a great year. We're going to have some neat stuff coming out in the next few months. The other thing, too, that I want to let you know, especially when it comes to that Genesis release of the way cars, don't do what I did. Remember about a year ago when we talked about the CB&Q way cars? And I was on the other side of the screen watching, thinking, man, I need one of those. And guess what I didn't do? I didn't order it. Now, I can't get one. I guess I could go on eBay or some type of online thing, or maybe start calling some dealers that might have one. But why put yourself through all that when you can just get it done, get it out of the way, place the order with your dealer now? Because I do know that those Santa Fe way cars are probably going to go just as fast as CB&Q. Tyler, how about Milwaukee Road log cars? Well, that's an interesting would be an interesting project. If you've got information on that you're willing to share, definitely let us know. I can't promise you, especially if it was just for Milwaukee Road. If they went to other railroads as well, there's a better chance that we can maybe do something with that. But once again, it's one of those things. If you've got the research, let us know, and we can at least look into it and see if it's something that's that would be viable for all kinds of modelers. So let's see. I got Tom. Tom says, "Hey, if you do a Missouri Pacific caboose, I'll give you my CB&Q way car." I take it you really like Missouri Pacific. Nothing wrong with that. It's a cool railroad. There's so many cool railroads out there. That's the problem. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we've got a lot of tooling, and it's basically just trying to make sure that the tooling is accurate for the railroad that you guys are requesting. All right. Chip guns. Yeah, there you go. Joel's got some suggestions. Chip guns. SP, GN, NP, UP, Milwaukee. Yeah, there's a good example, guys, of a car that we can produce, and sometimes with just a minimum, sometimes not even any tweaking, we can make them work for all different railroads. So most definitely, great suggestion. Tony Wright's throwing something out there. He's like, Norfolk Southern caboose. Some guys are like, well, Norfolk Southern doesn't use a caboose. Yep, they do. They sometimes call them shoving platforms, but I've seen them. Oh, let's see. Plywood chip guns and N scale would be awesome. I gotta agree. That would be a cool setup. We're getting down to the last few minutes of the show. I want to put some stuff out there for you guys. Kind of the question of the week. What are you guys working on? Let us know. And we do read the social media comments and such. Show us what you're working on. The beauty of modern day model railroading is a lot of these items that we sell are so detailed, you don't have to do anything but weather them. And so that leaves you a lot more time to work on your layout. And we've seen some really great stuff online the last few weeks in the different social media groups. So if you want to share your work, just let us know. We'd love to share your work on our social platforms and give you some recognition as well. Show us what Athearn projects you're working on. I know that, hey, check it out. Got a train coming finally. It's indicative of this time of year. It's kind of hard to see, but we do have a train. The last few weeks, we've been pretty fortunate. We've actually gotten trains while we're doing our live feed. It's too bad the lighting is really bad, but you see the second unit? Looks like a Ferromex. Yeah, the sun is just going down. Kevin, yeah, you can do that. What I'm really wanting to do in the next few weeks is to try to get an email for submissions like that. We've already got the contest email, but we're going to use that just for contest stuff. But for right now, yeah, just post it to the Facebook page and share it that way. I saw somebody out there that's working on a small Rock Island N-scale layout. Oh, here it is. You're working on an N-scale Rock Island bi-levels for my small layout. That's kind of cool. Zach, yeah, I knew you'd like that. Nothing warms my heart quite like seeing Mopac suggested by multiple people. Hey, once again, Mopac was a cool railroad. Not too far from where I'm at right now, we had a Mopac main line. And I kind of wish I had seen it. Maybe if I was here another 10 years earlier, maybe I could have seen some, but very cool. Okay. So like I said, in the next coming weeks, be looking on our social media platforms. We're going to be doing some contests. We want to see what you guys are working on. We've got, if you're like me, if you're stuck in the Midwest, winter's not exactly a week or two. So, that gives us plenty of modeling time. We've got the holidays behind us now. If you're like me, you've got a clean workbench, or in my case, you've even got a clean layout just ready to go. So, Sean's in Facebook jail. Yeah, it happens. It happens to the best of us. Not a problem. But throughout the winter, we're going to be doing some stuff aimed at you guys because, again, with us not being able to go to shows and interact with you guys on a personal level, we want to see what you're doing. I know for me personally, not going to the shows, I like to interact. I like to actually talk to you guys face to face. I'd like to hear your ideas because a lot of you guys have some great ideas. and you're passionate about the hobby. This is the best hobby in the world. This is nothing better than model railroading. And so I miss that interaction. And again, I miss seeing the guys out there that set up at the shows, whether it be a modular club or they bring in a small layout, or if it's like a prototype meeting, we go to someone's house to see an operating session. We're missing out on that right now. So let's help each other out. Let's show everybody what we're working on. As far as a hobby, this is the best community as far as hobbies go, and we're all friends here. So it's a great time to be in the hobby. Be thinking about those contests that we're talking about, and don't forget about that Prime for Grime contest that we got coming out. There's going to be details coming to that very soon. So I'm going to look for maybe one or two more questions, and then we're going to call it a night. Let me see what we've got. It's another vote for autoracks with side panels. That's the second one I've seen. I didn't miss the first one. Just didn't have a chance to talk about it. It's a good suggestion. Like I said, try to remember that and put it in our email. Let's see. Your semis are top notch. Love your vehicles. Thank you. I mean, it's a lot of work, and there's things that have to be done to make sure that they're done correctly and accurately. I think you'll be pleased when we talk about the HO and N scale Ford C pumper trucks in a few weeks. And Sean, there it is. It's not a complete week until we have this. California Surfliner cars. All right. With that, we're gonna call it a night as the sun is going down. The days are slowly getting longer. That's a good thing. But I want to thank you all for coming in today and spending your afternoon with me and Janik for a little bit. I want you guys out there to stay safe, be healthy, be nice to one another, and above all else, I want to say high greens, everybody. Have a good night.